Everybody, it's already evening and I'm just now starting to do anything productive. I've been running around getting last minute things done because we're leaving very early in the morning. My face is a mess. I was watching a movie and I was bawling my eyes out. We watched, it's called Risen, and it's about when one of the soldiers who helped take Jesus off the cross, he like took him down and everything, saw him dead and everything, and then later on, you know, they had guards out there to keep him, to make sure he wasn't escaping out of the tomb. And it's such a good movie. And of course I just had to bawl about every little thing, and I cry at commercials and life in general every day, so I'm sorry how I look right now, but I thought I would go ahead and do another layer on Spencer. I wanted to get a little bit of mottling done. I did a little bit of crease work, starting to put some creases and a little bit of, well, I don't guess you'd really call it highlights, but we did darken this area and darken this area, and here, all these little crease areas I've darkened up, and all the places where it's like, I guess you'd call it a shadow maybe. I've made little shadowed areas, darken those up, and creases in his little feet, and start to get more definition between his toes. And I don't like them real dark. I do them pretty subtle, but it's coming along. It's coming along. But I feel like it needs a pretty strong red model. I really want him to be pretty blotchy red. That just sounds like what I need right now. So I'm gonna see what I can mix up and get him looking splotchy. I'm trying to kill time right now because I'm so worked up about this trip. We have to get up at 3 in the morning to leave the house at, you know, time to get to the airport and make our flight. So it's a very early flight. So we've got, we're gonna, my son works and gets off work at, like, I think he gets off work at 2:15 or 2:45, something like that. I can't remember, but it's somewhere in that neighborhood. So he's just gonna come straight home and just get his stuff and stay up. You know, there's no point in him going to bed. And then he'll sleep mostly on the plane. And my husband works nights usually, and he gets off, like, he works overnight, so he doesn't get off till 6 or 7 in the morning. So he's gonna try to stay up too, but I'm gonna try to go to bed around 10 if I can. We'll see. Because I usually can't sleep when I try these kind of things. It's usually no good. But, because I'm not used to being up, you know, I'm used to being up later too, so what am I doing? Mottling. I need this. Okay, so I got a pretty good little puddle of thinner here. Let me scoot it where you can see it, maybe. Maybe. Okay. There we go. There's my puddle of thinner. You won't be able to see it really well. And let me rinse this brush, clean it a little bit. And I'm going to use, I've got the Genesis Red, which is red, red, red. But I'm also going to put some lip blush nail color in there too. I want it pretty red, so I'm gonna, what I do is I just stick my brush in and I go around in circles. See my little hole I've got in the center? That's what I do. I just go, woo, woo. I'm really scientific about this, let me tell you. I have a vision in my head of this bright mottling I'm wanting, but it never quite relays onto the vinyl. Sometimes it does, but that's pretty bright red. You can see my color I have. Let's see what that looks like on paper towel. That looks pretty good. I I'm gonna darken it just slightly with, it's called Lip Blush Nail, Bountiful Baby. It's Genesis, but I get it at Bountiful Baby. Just getting a little bit to darken that slightly. Okay, I think I'm happy with that, and we'll see what it looks like on the actual baby doll. We'll see how it looks. Okay, I'm going to start with this little fat leg. I always seem to want to start with the leg. I don't know why. Now, we will dip the brush in, brush it right onto the sponge. It's ideal if you only get it on the parts that stick up, but these holes are pretty close together, so I'm just going to brush the whole top. I tend to brush sideways. Kind of brush sideways so it's not all saturating at the spot where I touch it. I kind of go across. Okay. OMG, I love it. Oh, yes. Please say you can see that. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Now, once in a while, I'll really, really, really love what it looks like. And then when it dries, it'll be like, where did that all go? So, now this is nice. This is really the first modeling layer so far that has showed up really well, that I can really, really see it. I tend to go really low and slow. I mean, I take my time at building these layers because I don't want it to get too intense too quickly, because it's real hard to take it down a notch when you've gone overboard. So it's much easier to start subtle and build it gradually. So that's what I tend to attempt. Not saying I'm always accomplishing what I attempt, but I'm sorry, I really look like a hot mess. I really apologize. And I have actually been out of the house today too, so sadly enough. I did have a hairdo earlier, but it's long gone now. Oh goodness, that's really nice. Oh yes, I love it. So that was a lot of Genesis Red with just a little bit of Lip Blush Nail Color mixed in. And I tell you another thing that I love is I got this new thinner. It's odorless mineral spirits, and it's really cheap, and I get it by the big old thing at Walmart, and it's over in like the hardware painting section. I used to spend a whole lot, and I got this little tiny thing of odorless thinner. This is what I used to use, and this little tiny thing is like $6. And so now I refill this with my big one, and I put a dropper from something else so I can put it into my little palette. But this is what I use now. It's like really like stripper or something. I use this and I love it. It's milky white, and that throws you at first because you're not used to that. You're used to it being perfectly clear and like oily, but this is thicker and almost like runny lotion. It's white and creamy looking, so it's quite a bit different than what I'm used to. Alright, let's load this up again. But I really like it. And it's really milky at first in the tray, but then after this sets for a while, the milkiness goes away, and then you're left with just the bright color that you have mixed. So it's a little deceiving when you mix the color. The color doesn't look as dark as it really is. I can't really explain it like I want to, but oh, you hear the baby in the background. She's always throwing a fit about something. Life is full of injustices when you're a toddler. And I never know if she's happy or mad because it almost sounds the same. Sometimes she sounds like she's throwing a fit and she's really happy as can be. So who knows? Oh, I love these grandbabies. The other ones I don't get to see as much, but they do live nearby. It's just it doesn't always work out so that we can visit as much, but alright, so another little fat leg. A little pink on those toes. Oh yeah. So here's modeled, and here's, well, this one's modeled too, but just this is the really intense stuff I just did. And when it dried, it's not nearly what it was when I first did it. As I suspected it would be, that's what it does. It just kind of fades away. I am not in the mood to do this, people. Let me tell you, I'm not in the mood to do it. I'm doing it, but I don't want to. Alright, continuing on with the modeling. I've got his face done. It's starting to get some pretty good color to it. The lighting is obviously not good and you can't see much, but I really wish I had a better setup for you, but for now I don't. I'm sorry. But take my word for it. He's adorable. So cute. I love his little old fat face. His cheeks are just kissable, pinchable, smooshable. Alright, so let's put some model on this little belly. And then I'll be done with the modeling this layer, and I'm going to go ahead and bake it. So I don't bake every layer, but if there's any danger that you might mess it up, go ahead and bake between the layers, because if you mess it up, then it's just sad. So if you can bake it real quick and let it cool off and then do it, then you won't mess it up. That just helps you out in the long run. So let's see what this looks like. Oh gosh, I love it. It takes it so much better on this than it does on the head and limbs. And this was a different vinyl by a different person, so I like it so much better. Gosh, it's awesome. And I'm just using this as a stamp and just stamping on my model pattern. And I'm tending to get some pretty round circles, so I'm working to try to alleviate those circles as best I can. It's looking pretty good. In my eyes, it's looking pretty good. Gosh. It's looking pretty cute. Looking pretty cute, old Spencer. So when I see little spots where it looks sort of circular, I'm just going back and trying to hit that again, because I'm using the circular sponge, so you will develop those little patterns. Now I could avoid that by making the edge more irregular, and I've just been too lazy. If I would pluck this whole edge, the whole edge, and make that whole edge like that, whole, then it would be more irregular and less likely to leave that defined circular pattern. Let's see. So I'll go ahead and model every bit of this area. Go ahead and hit every bit of that with this pretty model. I love this red. Oh yeah. It wasn't doing what I wanted it to earlier, but now it's starting to pink right up. I think you might accidentally be able to see that. So sorry if that little penis offends anyone. No intention to offend anyone. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to let that dry. And then I'm going to put it in the oven and bake it. And hopefully it'll turn out looking lovely. Sometimes when you put it in there and bake it, you take it out and you're like, where did it go? And your model just kind of fades away. I'm being a little bit tired tonight. I know I'm not being very thrilling, and I'm so sorry. I'm just, it's anxiety, and all I can think about is, what am I taking on the trip? Do I have everything I need? Did I pack, you know, this, or I'm going to forget that? And it's about to make me insane. I'm trying to think of everything, and I feel like I'm definitely going to forget something. I'm just hoping, boy, I hope it's not something really important that I forget, because I know I'm going to forget something. I'm just not thinking positively about it at all. So, I got my quart-size bag. Apparently, all the liquids you take on the plane has to be in a quart-size bag, and you can only take the amount of liquid things that will all of the containers fit in a quart-size bag. And then each specific container has to be, it's around 3 ounces, a little more than 3 ounces, like 3.4 or something like that. So, you know, like my makeup and my sunblock and, you know, whatever we have that will be liquid-ish will have to fit in this bag. So, hopefully I can handle that. There's some things I was going to take that I'm just not going to take now, because I don't want to have to deal with any issues when I get to the airport. So, just like my moisturizer I'm not going to take, and my, I don't know, primer, I'm just going to leave that here. I'm just not going to fool with that stuff. It's going to all sweat off in Florida anyway, so the sunscreen, that I'm not going to forget. that I'm going to make sure I remember. So I guess this video is not going to be very long, and I know I haven't been making very long ones lately. It's because of this Halloween season and getting these costumes made and all the running I've had to do. We were at Walmart again today. I have been every day for like the past week. Really, just truly, it's madness. It's madness. Let me hit those little toes again with some of this. That was just cute. Just so pink. I love it. So, anyway, I'm getting it together. I've got my sunglasses. I've been to websites where people said, you know, these are the things that you need when you go to Universal, and don't forget to take this, this, and this. So I've looked at a bunch of those websites, and I hope that I've done pretty well. I guess we'll see. I'll be sure and video while I'm down there and let you know how it's going or how it's not going. But for today, I mean, you may not see much of me tomorrow. I don't even know if I'll put a video up at all tomorrow, because we're going to be having that early flight. You know, I may be doing some videoing during our little layover. We've got a layover at some point. I think I'll be at Detroit tomorrow morning sometime. So, I think we've got a pretty good layover there. And then, I don't know why we were going from Kentucky to Detroit and then to Florida. I think that's crazy, but that's the way it's working out. So, anyway. Well, I'm going to go then, and I'll see y'all later. Thanks for watching. Oh, dog. That was Kratos. Who knows? See y'all later. Wish me luck. Say a prayer. The plane don't crash. Bye.